Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're all doing well. As you can see, I shaved my head. It's time for the second half of the season, and we need to turn the luck around. Coming off of 2 profitable days, so I'll take it. I'll take a profitable golf week and a profitable Friday. So let's keep the momentum going. I hope you guys are doing well, and we'll talk through what we're going to do on this slate. I don't think Sheets is going to be well, I thought he'd be joining us, and I haven't heard from him. So I'm guessing he's not because he missed another conference call we were having about the site. So I'm going to guess he's not here, but we'll hope he shows up anyway, and I will get to my plays as we go. Pop in and say hello when you get there. Put in any questions or thoughts. I'm happy to answer anything. And with that said, let's get to it. So I understand, I'll be far below you, Darvish chalk, but I will be playing him in my biggest buy-in on DraftKings. On FanDuel, I'm using Castillo. I'm basically not playing much of Castillo at all on DraftKings. So Castillo on FanDuel. It looks like maybe Sheets is popping in. It says Sheets. We'll see. There he is. Oh, he needs 1 minute. We'll get him in 1 second anyway. Here, let's see. We don't have him in there. How you doing? Hey, how's it going, man?
What's happening?
Not much. Just going through some of what we want to do tonight, and I think that it's pretty similar for me to what I wanted to do earlier, which is I like Cincinnati, I like San Diego, I like Arizona as my favorites. Other teams that I'm considering: Colorado, Washington, Cleveland, St. Louis, Toronto, and the Dodgers, but I think only the Dodgers are probably going to make the list for me. I definitely think getting some Colorado exposure makes sense against Corbin, especially considering I'm playing him currently in my biggest buy-in. But what are you doing as far as stacks go? And then we'll talk about some pitching.
Yeah. So my number one owned stack is Toronto, as I mentioned earlier. Then Colorado and St. Louis are my next two, and then I do have some Cincinnati. This is all on DraftKings. I'm also getting some Kansas City as well. Mm-hmm. Against what's his face, and then as far as pitching goes, I bit the bullet, and I have more Patrick Corbin than I let on earlier. I have a full 20% of him. But aside from that, it's the usual guys, and I am well below on Logan Allen. So that's yeah. I guess that's my main take, is that well below on Logan Allen, and pretty heavy on Toronto, I guess.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. I have Logan Allen rated behind Maeda, and basically it's similar to John Gray. John Gray, I don't know why he can't seem to strike anybody out all of a sudden. I mean, literally, he hasn't struck out more than 4 batters in a game in 7 starts. That's really alarming, especially because he's pitched pretty deep into most of those games. But he had a Cleveland and a Boston in there. Don't know what the hell happened against Tampa Bay. And this is not a great Houston lineup, but I do think that the Logan Allen thing, and I like your idea a little bit about the KC. That's one that I was sort of flirting with. The lineup is probably, with Perez in there and Bobby Witt in there, they're just a little bit better than maybe they're getting credit for, and they're super cheap at the bottom, so it makes the stack really easy. Logan Allen has some talent, but also is not anybody that I would rely on. It's very weird to me. This guy hasn't faced more than 17 batters in his last 4 starts. And for him to be as popular as he is now, in his last start where he faced 17 batters, he had 8 strikeouts.
Sheetbot said true DFS MLB projections have been updated. They should be available on SaberSim in a few minutes.
But all this to say that I do like the idea of being below on Logan Allen. And the weirdest part is, I feel like every top pitcher I feel like I'm underweight on in terms of everyone that's supposed to be owned. I'm going to, in one of my big buy-ins, have Luis Castillo on my one big buy-in on FanDuel, my one big buy-in on DraftKings. I'm going to have Yu Darvish, but I'm not going to be playing Yu Darvish many other places, and I'm not going to be playing Logan Allen hardly at all. I'll have more Maeda, like I said, more John Gray, just because the ownership difference is enough for me, and he's got more of a leash. And I'm going to be way overweight on Corbin. I also am going to be overweight on Colin Ray, and I'm going to be overweight on Michael Grove against Toronto. There was a couple lineups I wanted to stack the Dodgers and Arizona together, and it was hard to do without double spending down a pitcher. So I, in those lineups, used Grove and Colin Ray together. I also will probably throw Graham Ashcraft into a couple lineups. So I'll be overweight on all the cheap guys and all the unknown guys, and I'll be underweight on the studs, but I will be playing them in my big buy-in lineups. Although right now Patrick Corbin is my SP2 and my biggest buy-in lineup. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
hopefully we'll see. You missed the beginning. I was talking. I shaved my head. I'm ready for the second half of the year. This is time to get going. We've got. For me, it's 2 winning days in a row, which doesn't sound like much, but it had been a couple months since that happened.
That's better than 0 for the month or whatever.
Yeah, it was really bad there for a while. So I'm ready to mix things up a little bit. I want to say what's up to everybody in chat. I got a lot of our favorite guys in here. Guys, drop in questions and thoughts as we go along. Happy to answer anything.
Yeah, the other thing that's good about the Kansas City is it's actually kind of weird. You can get like Bobby Witt. Kind of a sneaky, like lower owned than maybe he otherwise would be, because you can have a really chalky CJ Abrams at shortstop. So maybe just maybe Bobby Witt is a little ignored. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think Bobby Witt's going to be popular at all. So I think that's I mean, between De La Cruz, who can play at third, also Abrams, Brad Miller, who's the cheap option. I think those guys will eat up a lot of the ownership, and I think you'll see some Kim and if people spend up, I think they'll play Bichette and somewhat spend up and be Perdomo. So I think Bobby Witt will be below all those guys. I kind of like that idea, at least as a mini stack. I also think that it's extremely viable to take a shot against Maeda here. I mentioned that it's really hot in Minnesota, and they did just face this team. Maeda is a streaky pitcher, and you have incredibly cheap options for Seattle, partly for good reason. They haven't been very good, but Suarez at 2,900 is certainly interesting. JP Crawford at 3,000, definitely interesting. And a couple other guys from some other games that I wanted to throw out that I think are kind of interesting. Teoscar Hernandez is also really cheap. But Sal Frelick, he's a decent prospect, and he's batting cleanup today for Milwaukee. I like that whole game, and I think that at 3K he makes a lot of sense.
Did you see his coming out party the other day?
Frelick?
Yeah.
What did he was 3 for 3, right?
It was total insanity. So not only was he like 3 for 3 with like a sacrifice fly and all of it, but he had like 2 like robberies in the outfield, like back-to-back at-bats. Like awesome. First he robbed somebody of like a double off the wall, and then literally the next at-bat he robbed another guy like almost a home run. It was like total Sal Frelick show. It was absolutely amazing. That his whole family was in the crowd. They kept panning back to him. It was just insane.
I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So he's one I'll definitely be heavy on tonight as well. The other ones are coming from Arizona for me, like McCarthy. I'm actually playing I'm playing enough Arizona to where I have the 9, like I have Alec Thomas in some lineups. But McCarthy, Kelly, Thomas are the cheap ones at the bottom with Rivera. And then you've got the spend ups for Arizona, which are all just really good plays. I really like the idea of kind of harnessing in on the San Diego, Cincinnati, Arizona group. But I did have to throw in a couple Dodger stacks. And I can't believe I'm not getting to the Blue Jays, but I just didn't get there. I probably should, because I'm playing Michael Grove in about 20% of my lineup. So probably should have a Blue Jays stack, but I just didn't quite get there. I think that tomorrow I might do that 150, mini max thing that they do the $3 or whatever, just to try to offset some of maybe my flaws. It was one thing I used to do all the time before I played, and I taught everybody when I was coaching, was that I like to script no matter what. I wouldn't even use, cheese is gone, but I would write out like how much percent I wanted of everybody, and then try to get it close by hand building, or occasionally building a script or two. But I did like I like that as a process, and I haven't been doing it this year. So it's something that I'm definitely looking at possibly going back to the drawing board on. Really gives you a good feel for what you want to do. I definitely like doing it better in basketball than I do baseball, but baseball is much easier. You just, you end up with your whatever, the 7 stacks that you're rotating through, some of those are going to end up 3-man. So, you prioritize 4 of the stacks or something like that, and then see what you get. But I think that it's there's definitely some room to do that. So hopefully we get Sheets gets back. Here he comes. There he is.
Sorry about that.
No problem. Anyway, so guys, again, fire on in questions and thoughts. I think it's pretty straightforward what I said I'm doing, what, sounds like Sheets is doing. Sheets, do you
let me go over what I'm doing on FanDuel.
Oh, yeah.
I know you did already. Top 2 pitchers are Castillo and Darvish. And then a little bit of Logan Allen, Corbin, and then some sprinkles of nonsense. As far as the hitting goes, a lot of Cincinnati over there, as well as Colorado and Toronto, and the Dodgers, actually. So,
yeah, Dodgers are easier to get in over there.
Yeah.
I fell in love with the San Diego and Arizona builds, so that's sort of what I stuck with. I went playing a couple lineups over there. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, let's see. Thoughts on Texas? I think Texas will be.
We're still waiting on lineups all the way for a couple of teams. We're still waiting on the Cardinals, I think.
Yeah, no Cardinals, no Blue Jays yet.
Yeah.
To answer the question about the Texas stack, I think Texas is a good enough offense where you can always stack them. I do think this is a much weaker lineup and probably should be acknowledged that Corey Seager and Adolis Garcia are not playing. So the stack might look more tempting, but you're literally losing arguably the guy who's been the best hitter in baseball in Seager and a guy who's been a top 10 outfielder. So it's really not the same lineup when you throw Brad Miller and Jankowski's at the top instead. And I'm going to play some of those guys. I'm not going out of my way to stack Texas.
I think Brad Miller's hitting 7th though.
Yeah, he's 2.1.
Yeah,
and he's got enough power to where he can just hit one. You just get one ball. And for what it's worth, Belak was in consideration for me because of the Texas lineup today.
I got a lineup or 2 with him.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad idea to use him. I just personally, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud because I don't know. Everybody stacked a lot against Patrick Corbin if you played a lot of DFS, but I swear that I was doing it when he was still the Robbie Ray type of pitcher, when he was still hey, you're going to get Patrick Corbin, who's either going to go out there and put up 30 for you or he's going to get -10. But it would be the 1 out of every 5 games. I just always love stacking against him because there's so much upside. He allows tons of stolen bases, tons of power. For what it's worth, though, his control has been much better the second half of this year so far, or whatever, since the last 5 starts he's had. And Colorado is significantly the worst team in baseball against left-handed pitching.
It's like 35% strikeout rate, like lefties, something like that. 35%
strikeout rate, and they're missing arguably their best hitter or one of them.
Yeah.
McMahon, right? The only guys who were supposed to be of the opening day guys, they've got 3 guys from their lineup that are actually on their opening day roster.
And I think when you add in on the road, I think it's 40% strikeout rate.
Yeah. And one other thing that I looked at today was just Colin Ray's had a couple starts against Cincinnati where they hit him pretty good. I still think that both he and Ashcraft, because I'm going to be playing so much Milwaukee and Cincinnati. In Milwaukee, I'm not playing any full stacks, but I have some Monasterio, Frelick, and Adames. You know what I mean? Like a little 3-man or something like that. Or Yelich, Contreras, and Frelick. I have one of those. But I definitely don't think it's the worst idea to get a little bit of exposure to the other side. Again, these are not that impressive of lineups. We as much as I want to play this Frelick and I want to play Monasterio a little bit as a value option. It really is a lousy lineup that they're facing. It's why I should probably try to get my Colin Ray lineups to turn into Graham Ashcraft, because Cincinnati just has a much stronger lineup than Milwaukee does by just a ridiculous amount.
Yeah, I have the ultimate OCD build today. I have 50 lineups on DraftKings and 50 lineups on FanDuel, and every DraftKings is a 5-3 and every FanDuel is a 4-4.
Yep. I ended up with much more that I thought. I have some FanDuel. I have a couple of DraftKings 4-4s and a 5-2-1s and stuff like that. But I hear you. Pingalore with his question, but it was answered already. Would use Frelick as a one-off. I think Frelick is an excellent one-off personally. So yes. And one thing I'm going to have to go back and do is get some more Joey Votto, just because he's like the one player from Cincinnati I didn't end up getting much to in my stacks because I love this Encarnacion strand and I want to just keep playing him while he's cheap. Anyway, all right. So let's see what else we got here. Rich B says he's winning the 100K tonight with Corbin and the Blue Jays in San Diego. Hey, sounds good to me, man. I'll tell, my Dodgers can take a loss if you can win 100K with that. I think that's.
I like. By the way, I like that a lot.
Me too.
I really like that. Well, who's the second pitcher? I wouldn't even use one of the. I would go Corbin with Maeda or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could do it too because there is enough cheap options in there. I think. Corbin Maeda or something like that.
I'm saying so you don't have to go Darvish or Castillo. You know what I mean? Like you just.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't think you would be able to. Well, you might be able to. It's actually Darvish is not that much more than Maeda, I guess. But Maeda's flashed some huge games lately. But this just feels weird. You know, they just aren't letting him throw over those 80 pitches very often. And even when things are going well, it's not. It's like they're just giving him no leash. According to Pingalore, Mookie has a good career at bats against Berrios. Well, the good news for me is that anywhere I'm playing the Dodgers, Mookie is in my lineups. So,
there it is.
So he's playing Corbin and he's playing Allen. Okay, as the other one.
Do you think that anybody by the end of the season is a position player is 7K?
Yeah, probably. Well. If Atlanta goes on one of those other runs, I think Acuna will be. I mean, he's gotten close. He got to 67, and so did De La Cruz. Yeah, I think somebody hits there. Like just.
You think so? Has anybody ever done that? Been 7K?
Yeah, when Mookie played for the Red Sox and they played a game in Coors, I remember they made him like 7,500. I think.
Are you serious?
It was something ridiculous. I don't remember. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's happened before. I'm not 100% though. I'm pretty sure.
Was there DraftKings when DFS when Barry Bonds played?
No, that would have been something. He would have been the 10K guy.
Yeah, I figured, right?
Yeah, he would. I mean, what he had to average like 20 fantasy points a game.
You'd have to think, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're scoring, if you basically score a run a game, you have an RBI a game, and you hit a home run every other game.
Right.
Kind of hard not to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't take any pitchers against the Dodgers. I mean, look, it is a little bit of it's not their best lineup. There's no, we don't have JD Martinez in there, but I don't think that playing pitchers against the Dodgers is a good idea almost ever. You have to have everything go perfectly, and not say they can't have some strikeouts occasionally, but these guys, nobody works at bats like the Dodgers do. In my opinion, yeah. I think they're just simply the best in baseball at it, and even the bad hitters do it on their team. So. All right, what else do we have here? Looks like things are drying up a little bit. We don't have any weather.
You have any ultra crapola, like any Ryan Nelson or anything like that?
Yeah, I played him in one also.
Yeah, me too.
I don't think it's that bad of a play. He's pretty good against righties. He's been very, very good lately. He's got a huge bus path, which he always does. But the good news about playing a guy like him is that it seems like he got his control, and it seems like his control is under control now, which was his big problem early in the season. He's definitely been better about the walks and just not working counts as deep. The only game, he got lit up by the Mets in one game. I don't care if he gets lit up, and tonight, so what? He gets lit up. But I'll take a gamble on a guy who's putting up better games than the guys in the 8Ks lately. He's got more 20+ games than the 8K guys. I think I'll play him over some of those guys in a few spots.
And also, the Cardinals lineup is not out yet. So maybe I see Newt Barr as day to day, and I see there's another guy who's questionable. Oh wait, I thought Donovan was questionable. I think there's
a lot of questionables there.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen 3 different projected Cardinals lineups just from MLB alone today. So I don't know what to expect.
Bobby, I'll be right back. Just give me a minute.
Yeah, I just want to throw out that because of that, maybe I would talk myself into a little bit of a a Cardinals stack. I wasn't going to play them. I thought they were going to be popular, but just every minute that passes by when there's no lineup out is probably a good thing, although they'll probably end up releasing it in time and having some guys we didn't think of. I don't think they're actually going to be as owned as I thought they were going to be, though. So let me just take a quick look here, see what Goldie has. Yeah, I mean, really not that much. Not at all. I think, you know what? Talk myself into it because I'm going to be playing a little bit. I'm going to make sure to get myself a Cardinals stack. You also get the little Goldschmidt revenge. When Maeda and Yarbrough were on the same slate last week, when you said use them with Arizona and 4 Giants. So yeah, I don't think that everything is always created equal. You have Cleveland, who just doesn't strike out nearly enough to have Yarbrough be as appealing. Cleveland is against lefties, they're the 7th lowest strikeout team. Actually, they're in terms of percentage, they're the 6th lowest. So they don't strike out much against lefties. Yarbrough is not a great pitcher, but I mean, look, you could use him tonight. I'm using other guys who are not great pitchers also. But I don't think that I think what happened last week shouldn't factor in. When she said that last week, that was a 14 gamer, and we also had some weird pitching situations, but it was the way you could afford to get in those the Arizona and then the spend up for the top Giants, and obviously that's what got you there. But I don't know personally if I would play the Yarbrough tonight. Sheets, I'm guessing you don't have any Yarbrough.
No, I do not.
Do you have another one for Pingalore? Last time you said whatever you said, when you said the Maeda and Yarbrough with the 4-4, that's what won him all the money. So you're gonna throw out another one that's gonna win him all the money?
What site?
DraftKings.
4-4 on DraftKings. Well, I don't. All mine are 5-3s today. So
okay, so you don't have a 4-4.
So I don't have a 4-4 for you. But just for fun, this is what I'm going to do. Check this out. So I'm going to go back into my. So what I did was, I think you'll like this. So I literally X'd out the 4-4s from my SaberSim build. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-allow them and give you the best 4-4 that I had.
Okay.
So let's see. Team stacks, stack types. Hold on a minute. This is the Pingalore special, and this is one I promise you. I can tell you this one because I'm not playing it. So stack types. 4-4. So let's reset those exposures there. And then we will 4-4. Let's go minimum 20. Apply. Okay. It'll just take a second. We got time. This is important. This for Pingalore's 50. Was it 50K? No, it's 15K, right?
I don't know which one it was that he finished in. I think it was a single entry, so I don't think it was that much. But
we're going to come up with this. This is we're on a mission to get the Pingalore. We got to improve on the second place finish.
Donovan, I can't quite get an Arenado there. Shoot.
He's not even. We don't even know he's playing yet, right?
Who?
Donovan.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to build I'm trying to, because of all that. I just want to build a St. Louis and San Diego together stack.
How long do you think? What's his name's going to go for? You think they're going to let Wainwright pitch?
65 pitches.
Okay. It's like the more the better for the hitting, I think.
Seriously, I actually was disappointed when I saw that. Not that their bullpen's been anything to write home about either. I'm really liking this build here. We got Knizner, shortstop. I don't have a short. I don't want to be on. All right. Well, I'm really dumpster diving. I've really sold myself on this secondary dumpster diving at pitcher thing.
What's that?
I really did end up dumpster diving a little bit of pitcher in my secondary lineups here. St. Louis. Yeah, you want to get in St. Louis and San Diego, you're going to have to do some things. I
haven't forgotten about you yet, Mr. Pingalore. Just having I screwed up. No. I just screwed up something with SaberSim. I left the 5-3 locked as a setting. So then when I tried to put in some 4-4s, that had conflicting rules. So we have to
Gotcha. Maybe I will throw. You know what? That's it. I'm gonna throw Ryan Yarbrough into one.
Yeah, why not?
Just you know what? It's a weird slate. Like
if I've got a Ryan Nelson, you could put a Ryan Yarbrough.
Yeah, and the thing is, you really, and I'm playing him with Ashcraft. Like I don't care. Like I'm just what you're playing though is you're not playing those pitchers.
You just want the 10. You just want the 20 fantasy points combined.
Yep, and you want the other guys to be below 20, which is totally reasonable. There are only one guy's projected for 20, and that's Yu Darvish, which we all know could go.
Okay, here it is. Ping Liori. See, I can't tell you the exact lineup, but it's Castillo, Darvish, and a 4-4 with Texas and Seattle. That's it.
4-4 Texas and Seattle. Wow. Yeah,
Texas,
you got no ownership worries there.
That is my top 4-4 on the board.
Oh, all right.
And I promise you, I'm not playing it. So you can feel free to take it.
Just like last time, it's all Pingalore.
That's it.
Sheets. Nacho Man says your your projections aren't uploading, but I think you might want to check again, Nacho Man, because I'm looking at it right now and they're loaded up on the site for me. I've got this.
I'll relaunch them.
I've got Goldie's projections. I've got Sheets. I've got the SaberSim.
I even heard them go up. Remember when I got the robot thing?
Yeah, that's right. Right when we started.
I'll do it again though, just for fun. What I got to do is I got to upgrade. I got to up all my projections on Texas and Seattle now. Because now that we know that 4-4 is winning.
Yeah, there you go.
You know.
All right. What else do we have here?
I'm relaunching them. Let's just see. And just so everybody knows, what's it? Yeah, tomorrow night I'm gonna go live at 11. That's the one day.
That's on Tuesday.
Yeah, I know. It's the one day I can do it.
Okay, I'm gonna try to join you. I'm not 100% sure yet because I got to double check. But
if not, I mean, it's possible I can do Wednesday also. But Tuesday, I definitely am gonna be available to do it.
Yeah,
so
cool. Hopefully it'll be a fun one where we have some people in there actually sweating.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Any Cardinals?
No, not yet.
Well, that's not till 8:30 anyway, right?
9:40.
Oh, even better. Okay.
Yeah.
As long as I don't handcuff myself here. So what starts at 7:10 again?
The first game is
the Corbin game. Okay, here it is. That's it.
Corbin and then the Cleveland and Minnesota.
Dude, that's gonna really determine the slate right off the bat. Because first of all, Washington's gonna be pretty popular. Corbin's gonna be pretty popular, and Colorado is the unsneaky leverage stack is probably gonna get more ownership than I think. Also, we'll see.
Yeah, I actually thought people were going to play them more, and the weird part is that if you look at the lineup, like who do you want to play? Like
nobody. That's the problem. What you want to play? What's his name? Isn't that Grichuk, right?
He's got 1 home run this year against lefties, I think. Oh no, he's up to 3. Never mind, he's been a little bit better.
That's it. That's the 5-man stack. 5 Grichuks.
5 Elias Diaz's. I'll go for it. You can have
Elias Diaz and Nolan Jones.
Nolan Jones, Diaz, Grichuk. Yeah, those would be the best ones with Profar. Tofar's hit 1 home run.
There you go.
He's hit 1.
Yeah, so he's got 1. He's got 1 more than I have.
The game winner.
He probably has more than Arias, right? He's gonna win the 400, right? Something like that.
The announcer was saying, he's like, "How can you have 120 at bats this year in Colorado and still not have hit a home run?" And he goes, "This is what the Rockies are really looking to upgrade." And right then, the guy hits a game-winning home run for his first home run. I think it was his first home run ever. Yeah, so no Cardinals. The Cardinals weren't going to be popular anyway, and that's kind of weird because if you're going to not play, it's interesting. The Cardinals have a 4.2 run total. Okay, that's pretty good for this slate. And Reed Nelson is 6,700. I feel like you should be playing one of those sides of it, at least some.
They were whining about Vladimir Guerrero didn't have any home runs. He's going to end up with 40 by the end of the season.
Yeah, it's just those ones are coming. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's got three in his last 4 games now.
Did Abreu ever hit one?
Yeah, he's got like 6 now or 7. Maybe.
Wow.
Maybe, yeah, he's got 6 against righties. I know that. So he's probably got 7 or 8. Yeah, it's always going to bounce. It was weird. The Abreu one, I don't even know what the hell's happening. But people are a little too convinced these guys are spent before I'm willing to admit it. I sort of need like a full season of it. And as bad as he's been, hitting like 230 or 240, it's not like he's like, that could be okay if you're hitting 20 home runs in the All-Star break or whatever. But it's not like they're like
the Matt Olson.
Yeah, and of course now Matt Olson actually hits for better average because look who's around. It's a lot easier to hit when the bases are always loaded and when there's nobody out and you got murderers row behind you and in front of you.
But it really is amazing when you're like hitting second, third, or fourth in Atlanta and like literally like you have Acuna on second every single inning.
Every inning, and by the way, when he's not, that means Albies is like what I mean. It's like you always have a runner in scoring position.
Yep.
All right, I'm probably gonna get going pretty soon and just finish these builds. Any other things? All right. Well, enjoy. It looks like you're out in the Hamptons. How many days do you have after this week?
Just we're done here after this week.
Oh, this is the last week. Shoot.
July. Yep.
All right. Well, good luck, Sheets. Good luck, everybody. And I'll be in premium Discord the rest of the night. So let me know if you guys have any questions or thoughts.
All right. I'll catch up to you later.